Hey guys, it's Jenny. Welcome back to the Crafting Bookworm. Today I have a review for you. Okay, welcome back. Welcome new subscribers. Thanks to all of you for your continued support. Whether you're here for books or crafting, I appreciate each and every one of you. So the book that I have to review for you today is 29 Seconds by T.M. Logan. I knew that I was feeling like I wanted something thrillerish, and so I was looking on my shelves and saw this book sitting on my shelf, and I've had this book forever, you guys, and just never picked it up. So I'm like, you know what, today is your day. We're going to start reading you, and I'm really glad I picked this book. In this book, we're following Sarah, and she works for this big corporation, and she's got one of her bosses that is that kind of a boss, and he just doesn't know his own space. I can't even say he's bordering on sexual harassment. He's pretty much over that line, you know, with the things he says, and he'll reach over and touch her, and he'll drop little comments like saying, if you do this for me, kind of thing, I can see that you'll go far in the company. And of course, Sarah was not having any of that, and she had, you know, heard of different women in the company who had these same issues with Hawthorne, which is her boss. And a lot of them are just gone. She doesn't know the details, whether they quit or they got fired or what had happened. But Sarah was determined to get this promotion because she knew she was the best one for the job, but it was in an all-male kind of situation. And she worked day and night. She did a lot of different things to help the company, but Hawthorne is this company's golden child. He has brought in lots of lots of money for the company, and they just pretty much choose to not see things that are going on right under their noses. Even when Sarah goes to talk to some of them, some of these higher ups, and she does have a friend in the company that she talks to a lot, and she knows what Sarah's going through. Sorry, you guys. And her best friend says you need to go to HR and you need to, you know, talk. But her friend inside the company is telling her he's just going to make your life horrible. If you do this, he's going to make things even more hard for you. And Sarah agreed with that, and she stuck to her guns. Well, something really horrible happens, and it makes her very, very, very angry. And she knows that her hands are tied, that, you know, what her friend, Marie is her name, her in-company friend, she knows the things that she says is true, and no one is going to go up against Hawthorne because he is what they consider a great asset to the company. So one night she's just trying to, you know, go through all the thoughts that are in her head, and she has to come to a stop because there's a car parked in the middle of the road, and she doesn't understand what's going on until she looks over the sidewalk and she sees another gentleman standing there with a child. And she's figuring that's dad and daughter, and another person gets out of the car, goes over, and just beats the pulp out of this man that's standing there. The little girl's frightened. She runs off, and she's hiding behind a tree, watching her father being just decimated by this man. Sarah can't take it anymore. She knows she can't really do anything. She can't get out of the car and say, hey, what are you doing? Because, you know, this is a big man. So she takes her car and hits him. She hits this man with her car, and she freaks herself out because of it. Another man gets out of the car, takes a picture of her license and her registration. The little girl takes off running, and this man picks up his injured partner or whoever he is and puts him in the car. They drive off. And then she notices the man who was beaten up slowly gets up and goes to find who she thinks is his daughter. So Sarah then dials 911 and they get there and she's explaining the situation. She feels horrible. She may have killed somebody with her car, but she's most worried about this child. And she's like, you know, you got to find the child. And they're like, you're telling us a story. There's no child. There's no man who was hit by a car. There's no man who was beaten up. You know, what were they supposed to do? They had nothing. They, of course, took her statement, but she knew that was probably not going to go anywhere because she had no evidence of anything that just happened. So she's back home. She's talking to her best friend and just incredulous at what she had been through and what she had witnessed. Then as the days go by, she starts to notice people hanging around that don't normally hang around. She's starting to be worried for, you know, like her children, for herself. You know, what if this man who took the picture, they're out to get her or what? She didn't know what to make of any of it. I don't want to tell you too much because I don't want to give any, you know, a whole lot away. I want you guys to experience it firsthand. But she does come in contact with a man. They take her against her will. He wants to say thank you for saving her daughter. So she was right about that, or saving his daughter. So she was right about, you know, that man and little girl was father and daughter. And he says, but I don't go through life without repaying my debts, so just give me a name and I can make this person disappear off the face of the earth. No one will know anything about them, where or when this happened. None of that will happen. And she, of course, you know, turns it down. And saying, you know, you don't owe me a debt, you know, I did what I thought I should do. I'm glad your daughter is okay, because she came in and she saw that she was, you know, visually okay. There was nothing wrong. He says, you have 72 hours, and then if, you know, I don't hear from you, the deal is off. So, you know, of course she, you know, thinks, okay, that's fine. And then just the workplace gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and her mind starts turning. And so she has a very, very crap day. And she's sitting in her car, and she's just drinking herself to oblivion. And she makes the phone call. But anyway, the next day she realizes what she did. And she tries to call back, and there's no answer. The phone is no longer in use. So now, as you can imagine, she's living on paranoia. You know, she's got it coming from both sides. From the job, from whoever this man is, who, you know, offered her this deal. And life just doesn't get any easier. And it was just go, 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 go the whole time. I really, really enjoyed the process. Like, I really loved reading about her thoughts and how her days would go, and just how everything followed through. It was just very fluid. Really enjoyed that. It was a very fast-paced read, for me anyway, and I absolutely loved it. I do believe I rated this 5 stars. I'm thinking I rated it 5 stars. And just really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to look for more from T.M. Logan, because I did not expect this book to be as good as it was. You don't really hear a lot about this author, and you certainly don't read anything about this book. It's just, you know, it's like non-existent. I never would have known this book existed had I not bought the book. So yeah, this was really great. It was kind of thrillerish. It was more, I mean, I guess you can call it a thriller. It wasn't really that anticipation or that adrenaline pumping kind of thing. I mean, at points you're sitting there and you're worried for Sarah, you know, and what's going to happen and what's going to go on. But I don't want to tell you anything else because it just gets better from the point that I told you. Fabulous read. I have to just say, you know, read this book because it is definitely a book worth recommendation. So if you have the book, if you don't have the book, try to get it. It was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Written very well, very fluid. Loved the characters and the plot. I really loved the plot because what would you do if kind of one of those scenarios? Of course, I wouldn't say, yeah, make this person disappear. But, you know, when you're reading a thriller book, you kind of put yourself in that situation. And Sarah was definitely in a situation out of her control. Like, she could have quit and lost her job. But, you know, when you need your job and you're in that situation, you know, you kind of have to fall into things. And yeah, anyway, it was great. The ending was fantastic. Absolutely loved everything about it. But yeah, that's 29 Seconds by T.M. Logan. I highly recommend this book to you guys. If you've read this book, let me know down in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts were on it. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.